like, will a business come to you and say, hey, we really want to recruit more like Latinos, or we want to get like more Latino representation here? And
Mhm.
then do you focus on that with them? Like, do they focus on specific ethnicities, or is it more just broad?
I think it's been broad. In some cases, it's been, like, hey, guess what? For example, if we're working with a business that is in South LA, for example, then we're going to look at the demographics in South LA, right? It's going to be mostly Latino and African American, right? Or if we are focusing somewhere in the South, like in Atlanta or Georgia, the same thing, mostly Black, mostly and Latino there. So I always talk about like what is the main objective, right? What are they struggling with, right? And I always bring the conversation, well, where are you housed? Where is your business headquarters? Let's look at your community. Is the people that you have in leadership roles and even your frontline staff, is it reflective of your community? That's like a sensitive conversation, but it's a real basic conversation where it invites me to take that conversation deeper, right? So now they're looking at, okay, demographics, it goes back to what I was talking about earlier. It's like, okay, now, okay, I'm open to um doing a demographics audit or survey and see what our numbers look like. And one of the fears that does come up is, well, shoot, Raul, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, because what if we're doing something wrong? Or what if we find some pay equity issues? What if our Latina or our African American sisters are, you know, there is pay equity there? Then I tell them, well, then you have a choice. You keep doing what you're doing now, which is nothing, or you do something about it. You know, you make that difference, you make those adjustments, and people will love you for it, right? It's how you have those conversations, and you for me, you always connect it to back to the business case, right? Or you connect it to the main strategy of the organization. Like, do you want to be an organization that is still struggling with pay equity issues and you're afraid to do something about it? Or do you want to be an organization that has looked internally, you decided as an organization to do your own audits, and you found some stuff that perhaps was something that you didn't want to see, but there's problems and issues. But guess what? As a courageous leader that you are, you decided to do something about it. You decided to correct it. So if you frame the conversation around along those dimensions, I think most business owners or leaders would be okay. And then walk me through the process. What is that going to look like? What are we going to do? And yeah, we do surveys, or we do one-on-one we do focus groups or interview people, and we just get deeper into trying to figure out um, you know what other areas um, that we can improve, right, in terms of retention. Like, are people feeling like they have adequate support with career development opportunities, promotional opportunities? What does our pay uh, practices look like? What's our pay philosophy? How do we recruit? Do we just go on Indeed or monster.com, or do we go locally, right? So it involves a wide variety of questions and assessments, and it is a process. But for those organizations that um, are looking for outside support, then sure, I think having a consultant or having outside support to look at what their current practices are will be very helpful.